am Sanjay Chitnis. I am principal of CMR Institute of Technology. Today we are starting a program called Prepare for our students who are entering 6th semester. There are still 1.5 years to go for the completion of engineering degree, but this program is to ensure them that not only they understand the basics of engineering and become a good engineer, but also they understand what industry really requires, so that they not only get good jobs, but also they succeed when they join the companies and they do very well compared to other students in the industry when they are actually on the job. This particular program is for all branches in CMR Institute of Technology. We have around 7 branches of engineering and about 600 to 700 students. So we are training all these students on the latest technologies which we have got from industry, as well as some basics of computing skills. We understand that in tomorrow's world, irrespective of the branches they come from, whether they come from mechanical engineering or civil engineering or electronics or computer science, all of them need very good understanding of computational related skills, not only for doing IT jobs, but also doing jobs in their core industry. For example, somebody is there in, say, mechanical engineering. They need to know how computers are used in design of machines and other specialized skills in mechanical engineering. So one of the unique selling point of our Prepare program is we are going to prepare them with not only latest technologies in their respective core domains, but also in things like computational skills which will be used across permanently. This particular program is going to run for 10 to 12 days, and it will in fact continue over the next whole semester. In that, they will practice things which they have learned. So it's not about just the classroom training or understanding things, but it's also about practicing and getting the confidence, so that when they appear for interview, they appear for the interview with confidence that I am able to solve the problems of common man or industry. So that's the confidence we want to bring them over this period of long 6 months. We had conducted similar program last year also, and one of the success stories of that is one of our students got placed in Flipkart with a package of 12 lakh rupees per year. So we are really happy to support our students so that more and more students can benefit out of this and do their best in their career.
It's almost outside of choice that we just do it. Right? And as we're doing it, we're not necessarily reflecting back or thinking about what are we going through. Right? And I think the one thing that period gave me was learning, or the art of learning. And that's what I thought I'd talk about to you guys, that as you are in this beautiful juncture of your life where you have nothing else to do but focus your energies on learning. Because trust me, 2 years later, 3 years later, you all will be in different roles in lives, both professionally and personally, doing a variety of things, and learning will end up taking a backseat. And I'll try and impress on you guys why it's just so important to learn through this. Let's get started. Like I mentioned to Shankar sir, I prefer to keep this interactive. It's a small hall, so if there's any point of time where you feel there is a question, raise your hand and shout out. I should be able to hear you, and we can take the conversation. Okay, so first I start with the question, so you can reciprocate back. What is common to all of these? Okay, so what's common to all of them is that none of them existed 10 years back. Absolutely zero, right? None of them existed 10 years back. And yeah, half of them didn't exist 5 years back. And all of them have had large impacts on our lives. I think the biggest change that life has seen over the last 5 years across the world is that device that I kept aside, the smartphone. So this has changed lives dramatically over the last 5 years. Now all of you, or most of you, carry a device like that. Just where the world is going or where India is going, between web and mobile is definitely the future. As in the sheer number of Indians who will have mobile phones with internet enabled that can be leveraged is going to be far, far higher, like hundreds, thousand times more than the number of Indians who have access to a machine or have access to a standard PC or a website. So I think so to start out, if for example you were to think of starting up, let's just change website to a mobile application or a mobile site. Now, if you've decided or if you've thought of an idea, and how do you get started? I think first of all, it's just inertia. That whether it is learning about something. So if you actually try and figure out, okay, how to create an Android application.
You have an idea. You go to Google and you search for the solution, how to get along with it, and you come up with a solution. Okay, but you cannot implement it. Like for example, I've seen many times I have come up with apps, but I've not been able to release it. Okay, because maybe because I feel the code is not efficient, or maybe it's still not running efficiently, or maybe sometimes a website that I don't know what are the necessary documentation to be done to it, or the licensing, or if I need to do any registration or something like that. So all that, how do I proceed with all that?
Academic year to take you through your most important phase of life. It should not stop there. It is very easy, but you need to keep on working at it. I am sure all of you will take this clue and this effort put in by the placement department to help you cross this bridge, and I'm sure you have the wishes of all the faculty, management to have the best of life, and you will work throughout your life. Like he said, change. We do not know. Our generation did not know about internet. We did not know anything. But every time I see a small 1-year-old or 1.5 years I've seen playing with that iPad, and the eyes going so fast. And if the 1.5 year can do that, I don't know, when they grow up, you might be outdated. So think about it in that direction, start working, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
My name is Anand. I'm running a company called Quantic Origin. We have been associated with the placement department of CMRIT for over the last 5 years. We have been training students in terms of quantitative aptitude, problem solving, logical reasoning, data interpretations, and in terms of technical aspects wherein we are enhancing their competencies with respect to the C, C++, DBMS, networking, and we're also doing some value-added courses for the core departments wherein the electronic students will undergo some training in DSP, embedded, VLSI, etc., and the mechanical are undergoing some domain-specific training in aspects of CAD, CAM, CATIA. And the civil students are also undergoing some courses which are going to make sure that the corporates are looking for these skill sets when they are writing their pre-placements. CMRIT over the last 5 years have had more than 400 students getting their first offer letter year on year, and we have had corporates very interested in coming down and hiring in large numbers. So in order to actually bridge the gap between campus and corporate, what we decided is we will give all the students an intensive program in terms of getting into the corporates and becoming billable on day one by telling them that they're going to be billable from day one. What I mean to say is, these people will learn the necessary skill sets that will be taught to them on a day one by a company. So a company need not invest a lot of their business time and their resources in order to equip themselves in terms of basics for these engineering students. These students will know all the curriculum and some of the technologies which is in latest in lines with these companies. So I would call it a small incubation phase wherein these students are undergoing programs with respect to their domain. In the phase 1, now students are undergoing technical courses in terms of C programming, wherein they are going to have snippets, they are going to have theory and problem solving sessions in the next 8 days. After that, we are going to give them a complete learning management system, wherein they are going to undergo some courses online which are based on concept builders. If I take some examples, we will be putting a theory behind how a pointer is built, and then we will be challenging them with questions on how to solve questions with respect to pointers or linked list. And through the learning management system, we are trying to make sure we are going to reach out to students, and we are going to give them a lot of assignments so that they equip themselves before their placements. Third, they are also going to have some sessions which are only into quantitative aptitude builders, because as you know, companies are screening them, filtering them through the quantitative aptitude tests. So we are making a thorough analysis of how the corporates are doing their screening, and making sure the students participating in this program will know what are the recruiters and what kind of paper patterns do they set, and how these people can actually transition and evolve in studying these paper patterns.
I am Akil. I passed out from CMRIT the last year. The thing that once I joined this college, I was with the expectation that I'll do my computer science this one. I never thought about like what's going to be in the future after that. I thought, okay, after computer science, I'll do something else. I'll study more, this, that, and all. But the thing that once I came here, it was like a completely life-changing experience. Like I made some really good friends, had some really good lecturers who taught me a lot of things. I had many stories between ourselves, and that means like each moment is like I can see back and say, yeah, this is something in my life which I'm not going to experience any other time. In fact, we had a lot of curricular things, and there were like some lecturers and all who were like supporting us out of the curriculum also. They used to encourage us a lot, learn something else, try doing projects and all. That means like to solve some real-time problem, like we had some problem in the Wi-Fi and all. So the lecturers themselves like encourage us to go forward, see how you can help it. So there was really to this one. And as for this one for Flipkart, the thing was that we had first aptitude test conducted, from which they taken us to another organization where they had some skill training, and after they also did some tests, and they selected some students, from which we are selected for the interview and all. And the interview there also was too good and all. The experience was just awesome.
I'm Professor Shankar from CMR Institute of Technology. I am the Dean for Academics and Research. I am also a professor with the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. I've been here for the last close to 5 years or so. Now you see the advantage that they'll have. Besides, the placement process itself is taking place in their 7th semester. Now if that happens, you can't go and project your project which you're going to complete at the end of the 8th semester. You have nothing to say as different from somebody else in another institution. We want them to have something different and something more to claim as their achievement by having done something in their 7th semester itself. Sometimes even that is not sufficient, because the companies start coming in the beginning of the 7th semester, whereas we say that we are going to ask you to do your final year project commencing from the 7th semester. So what we did now is we are asking them to do a mini project that is in their pre-final year. That is after their 4th semester. When they get into their 5th semester, we will give them the choice to form their teams. Here we have chosen some ways of doing this which we believe are going to help the students very much. We are not restricting the student batches to the same division or the same stream. That is, for instance, electrical guys do not have to have electrical guys only in their team. They can form team across disciplines. In fact, we even strongly suggest that if you are from electrical engineering and you are from mechanical engineering and the third one is from computer science, you three form a team. You choose, you come and tell me what project you want to work on. The problem statement is yours. The goal setting is yours. That is because we want them to make those decisions when it doesn't hurt. Even if they fail in their mini project, it doesn't hurt. But then the experience of having made the decision and not having reached their goal is very important, because they can make an assessment of themselves without somebody else going and telling you didn't do this. So we don't want to do that. We want them to assess themselves and then come up with means by which they themselves are convinced that they have to improve on X, Y, Z, whatever component of their learning that they want. And then we say that you can choose a mentor across the college from any department. Now what happens as a consequence of this is what we found in the previous placement process. The teams who come from the companies, they say, sir, this time we found your students different. I need to know from them how our students are different. I asked them, how are they different? They said, your students in this batch are different in two ways. I asked them what? They said, they're different from students in the other colleges in the same batch. We have gone to other colleges, then we have come to CMRIT. When we conduct the test, when we conduct the interviews, we find your students different from students in the same batch in other colleges. Okay, they said something else. Your students in this batch are different from your own students in the previous batch. That is because in that batch we had introduced this mini project. I am not trying to say that every student went through this mini project, because it is not compulsory. We ask them to do. When we give them the choice to do, they do it out of their pleasure. They work on their own time. The one important thing that happened as a consequence of this is there was one lab space which was available. That's a very nice incident. I think I must recommend this. I must commend this. We gave the lab keys to the students. They sought our permission to work beyond college hours. Some of the students, you won't believe, they were working till about 9, 10, 10:30 in the night. And we gave the keys to them, because I didn't want to be in the lab till 10, 10:30 in the night. We gave the keys to them. And on one day, we brought the president madam to come and just talk to the students. Now, I was surprised. One student showed the president madam the key and he said, ma'am, this is the key to my lab. Now that is the ownership that we want. We told them, look, this is your lab, this is your college, this is not my college. I'm in the college because you are there. You're not in the college because I'm there. The college is meant for you. The laboratory is yours. You must own this. You must work. Some things go wrong sometimes because they are all, after all, equipment. Sometimes it can happen. But then we give them that support when they need the support. Nobody needs a support when the person is succeeding. You need support when you're not succeeding, when you're failing. So that is where we want to handhold the students, and we want to give them the support and see that they're prepared to take small risks before they go into the external world where they will be expected to take bigger risks. Now we don't want to give them the experience of only success. They must also experience a little failure here where it doesn't cost them too much. Now that is what we want to do here, and in that sense we believe that we are not just the run-of-the-mill colleges from among the colleges that we are here. So in essence, as I said in the beginning, it is the transformation that we bring about in any student who comes into our college. By the time the same student leaves the college, what is the difference that we have made to this student? That I would like to believe is the contribution of the institution, and there we are trying to tweak our processes, our people here, we are trying to learn ourselves in the process, and we believe that we are going to be where we want to be sooner than later. Thank you very much.
Thank you, this is Abrar, this is my friends Sini, Sonita and Sharat. We are from CMRIT 5th SEM, and today we had a prepare program for placement training, and it started with a keynote by CPO of Flipkart. So that was good, and we're going to get a lot of capsule training done by CMRIT, and we have a dedicated staff for it this time. So it's good opportunity.
This prepare program was started out at a very, we just completed a 5th SEM, so it started at a very early step, and it's going to be a very beneficial program for us, and not many colleges get this opportunity to, to meet the CPU of a very good company. So I think it's going to be very helpful for us.
I would just like to say that CMRIT is putting a lot of effort in helping us to get our first offer letters, and it has really helped us and inspired us so that we can work towards it and have a good career.
He was kind enough to answer all our questions, and the questions we posed, his experience and his exposure to the field, all that was brought into 15 minutes, and we had a lot of delightful sayings and thanks to tell him.